Welcome. Today I'm going to show you how you can easily set up and configure hundreds of PCs for protection using the Copiun solution. I need to set up about 100 PCs for backup using Copiun. And between you and me, I would like to do it quickly, so I can go for lunch with my colleagues who are all checking out this new burger place that opened this week. Now Copiun ships as a plug-and-play rack-mountable appliance which includes all required storage, CPU, and memory resources needed to protect thousands of PCs. There is no additional infrastructure needed. I simply need to add the appliance server to the network and it is ready to go. Once the Copiun server is on the network, I can connect to it using any web browser from any system on the network, and I can log into it using my existing domain credentials because it is integrated into Active Directory. So this is really a big time saver and also great from a security perspective because none of us need to remember another set of username and passwords. So now to add the PCs. The 100 PCs that we need to add are in two distinct classes. 50 of them belong to the marketing group, and they want to back up the videos and the pictures folders, while the other 50 are the finance and accounting types, and we really don't need to back up their pictures and videos from their last vacation. You know what I'm saying? So with any other system, this would be a complex setup, but with Copiun, all I need to do is just define two policies and apply them to the appropriate PCs. So let's get to it because I still want to get to that lunch. Alright, so we click on Add New Policy, and we can provide it the name. So we're going to call this Marketing and add a description. And the screen also lets me define what is the operating system type of those PCs, and in this case, because they're Vista, I'm going to choose Windows Vista and click Next. This screen lets me define the objects that need to be backed up and also the objects that I don't want backed up. The nice thing about this screen is it lets me define them in logical terms, so I don't have to worry about the specific folder or usernames of PCs. I can just define logical objects like user data, music, videos, pictures, and Copiun does a translation to their location automatically. So since we're defining the policy for marketing, we always want user data, but for marketing we also want videos and pictures. Now you can exclude things like temporary internet files which don't need to be backed up, and you can also exclude files by extensions like the .tmp files. So you define the objects that you want to back up and you want to exclude, and then you click Next. On this screen, this option lets you select whether you want Copiun to use the Microsoft Volume Shadow Copy service before performing scheduled backup. This is really important because selecting this option allows you to back up files that are open within another program, like the Microsoft Outlook PST files. Click Next. This screen lets me define the backup service level, which is really important from a management perspective, but it's a whole different video segment, so we'll not do that. We'll not cover that right now, and just choose the default options and click Save. So just like that, lo and behold, we have our policy for marketing. So let's define the policy for the finance group as well. We're going to call it Finance. And this time, let's select Windows XP because those guys are all on Windows XP. We'll click Next. And again, same logical objects, and user data is always selected, but we don't want to select music and videos. We can keep everything else the same, and we'll click Next. We still want to check the Volume Shadow Copy service option, so we'll keep that, and we'll accept the default service level, and we'll click Save. So just like that, in a couple of minutes, we've been able to define the policies for the marketing and the finance groups. Let's add the PCs themselves. Now, The nice thing about Copiun is it allows me to do a bulk upload of host names in a very easy way. All I need to do is click browse. I have the PC names in a text file already. Select that and I click upload, say add all, and choose the policy as marketing, and optionally put them in the marketing group and click add. There, I've just added 50 PCs to the marketing policy. Let's do the same for finance. Upload, add all, select the finance policy, and we're done. So we can check in the marketing group. There's 50 machines, and you can see that those machines are all added. Well, that's all we have time for today. Next time we'll cover reporting on how to manage the backup of these PCs.